What it is, y'all, and thanks for tuning in here to another episode here on the Speedbug channel. Today is a video of a popular request that I get actually kind of often. Is exactly how do you tend to do all your maintenance and everything on your bike? Well, obviously, I do it all pretty much myself, obviously, unless it's something major or should be done primarily by the manufacturer, you know, for warranty reasons or anything like that, like how the rear master cylinder broke on the X Diavo like the first or second week I got it. So I took it in there, they replaced everything, the caliper, the lines, the master, the reservoir, everything I pretty much got new except for the cap on the reservoir, and they may have even done that, and the lever. But anyway, I'm actually here because a lot of you have been asking, how do you adjust the rear chain and tighten the chain on a Ducati? Well, the Panigale V4 actually doesn't need to be adjusted because I did that one already. Unfortunately, I didn't make a video, but it's not too loose and it's not too tight. But this one is quite loose, and you can see it. You can even see it drooping. So, yeah, it's a little loose, you know. Get that chain slap when you're on and off the throttle. So we're going to tighten that up a little bit, and I'm going to tell you and show you guys exactly how to do it. So I actually don't have my spanner wrench here. I loaned it out to a friend, but he is going to be bringing that back here shortly. So what I will tell you guys and show you guys kind of how to do it, you'll just have to be with me in a little bit of spirit. So how you do this? Obviously, you make sure that the rear is, you can do it on the ground, but it's not recommended because you have to roll the bike around. So what you do to start is you get the ass of the bike jacked up. And then this hub here, because it's a single-sided swing arm, these pinch bolts right here that I'm pointing to, see if we can get in here. These two pinch bolts control this eccentric hub. And this eccentric hub is not completely round, and that is exactly what gives you the chain tension on this bike. So what we'll have to do is loosen these two pinch bolts, and then when you come in here, and you see, here is where you'll put your spanner wrench, on these threads right there. Now you can see now my hand's out of the way with the light. You'll take your spanner wrench and move it forward or back, forward to the front of the bike to loosen the chain, backwards to put more tension on the chain. As you do that, check obviously with your measuring stick or within your owner's manual to figure out exactly how much chain tension should and shouldn't be on this chain. And then once it's within spec, rotate the tire a few turns, left and right, counterclockwise and clockwise, to make sure that all the knots and everything are taken out. But the chain is definitely going to have some tight spots a little bit more than the other. If it's significant, obviously it's time to get a new chain. But since this bike is brand new, the chain is just stretched, obviously, coming out of its break-in period. So it needs to be tightened up because I like my chain and sprockets to last, more than a couple thousand miles. So after then, then you got your chain within spec and it's not loose and flappy like how mine is right here. Then you come back in here and you tighten these two pinch bolts just so the hub is locked out. Make sure you check your torque specs. It's nothing too crazy. It's not 100 foot-pounds or anything like that. Probably in the neighborhood of, 10, 20, 30 foot-pounds or something like that at most, So, but check your torque specs. Make sure you have a torque wrench to do that. And then that is pretty much how you tighten up the chain on most Ducatis that have a single-sided swing arm. The procedure here on the V4, single-sided swing arm, there's the two pinch bolts right there with the yellow markings, and there's the spanner wrench. And just exactly how you see this is propped up on the pit bull stand. I have my other stand for my Hypermotard with the smaller pins, and I'll put it up on here shortly. Again, I'm not doing it for demonstrations right now because I don't have my spanner wrench, and I wanted to get this video out to you guys. And then you just turn the eccentric hub back just a little bit. And again, these are the teeth right here. Most people will sit here, I know someone's gonna comment and say, yes, you can do it tapping on it lightly with a flathead screwdriver and anything like that. Yes, you can. However, it's not recommended. That eccentric hub is aluminum, and you can chip it and pit and ding the hub where you're going to be hitting it against the teeth. So I don't recommend do that, but if you want to do that, that's up to you. That's your own risk, and it's your bike. I can't tell you what to do with your bike, but that's exactly what you'll have to do. On bikes such as my 959, where it has a traditional style swing arm, where it's got arms on both sides, it just requires the fancy Ducati nut. That's it. You go and get that nut. Here is your alignment blocks, and then here is where you'll set your chain tension. And you can see I actually have the sticker still on this one. You can see, just make sure you follow that within spec. Loosen this lock nut right here. Push this out, starting in, 1 turn increments. And then you're gonna come over here on the left side and do the same thing. And then tighten the nut. Tighten the nut to spec. Use these marks right here, because these are your alignment marks, to make sure that the back wheel is center lined and aligned all the time. You don't want the bike to dog walk or anything like that and wear unevenly on the tire. And then after that, take your wrench with your socket, your special Ducati socket, and torque it down, and you're all good. So I hope this video has been informative to you. Quick tech tip on how to tighten the chain on a Ducati. Again, if you guys like what you saw, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check me out here on Instagram for other tech tips and things like that. And we'll see you here for another episode here on the Speedbug channel. Deuces.